Hey, welcome to the Airmere Roundtable. Today is the 20th of November, 2024, and special guest Chuck Edwards from B4Signals. Chuck and I had a roundtable about 4 months ago in July to introduce the B4 CoPilot Pro to the Airmere community. But since then, Barb has been busy coding and doing a lot of updates, and now there's an updated version. I think they're on version 6 now, Chuck. So um,
Absolutely.
Chuck's here to show us all about it, and I guess they have a Black Friday sale already going on. So let's learn more about B4 and welcome, as always, Chuck. You're always welcome here, and I'm glad to let everybody know what B4 is all about.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the warm welcome. Yeah, we had a I was kind of interacting this morning while you were running the strategies there. I just want to talk a little bit about Copilot here. Had a lot of questions, and I'll definitely take any questions you guys have. Of course, it's an automated order flow bot. Uh, you can see here on the right-hand side of the screen where my mouse is. I'm sorry, I don't have a big pointer going there. But if you look at the bottom right hand of your screen, you'll see the chart trader interface for NinjaTrader. You'll see that we have a bunch of little check boxes right there. Those are individual order flow signals. Now, some of them are just standard order flow signals that you'll find in normal applications, but several of them are our own, like the trap traders, the volatility breakouts, the session flip, and the B4 bar pullback. You'll see that I have this system set up. Of course, it runs on NinjaTrader 8. It's a strategy. Uh, it's subject to an ATM. I have a preferred ATM that I like to use where I use 6 contracts, and it trails. So basically, the system you could set it up any way you like, whether you like it for just scalping with a lot of hyper scalping, I guess, scalping, hyper scalping, whatever situation you like, whatever your preferences are. We're using it right here on our B4 bars. My particular setup has, I don't trade, the setup you were showing this morning in the last couple days, Tom, is Barb's setup. And Barb is a seasoned veteran. He's over 25 years in the business, and he knows exactly how he wants to trade, and he knows what he's looking at, and so he'll scale in, scale out of the trade as it develops, trailing with the system. So, of course, his results will vary greatly. We have the ATM strategy as a base, something to start with, but we typically use discretionary means when we come to trailing our stops. You can see here by this morning, I'm going to move my mouse over here. We have our B4 bars right there. And let me just describe that just a little bit before I get into the trades that we took this morning. The B4 bars there, you see I have them on a 10-10, and I have our footprint overlaid here. So you're seeing the actual interior. Those of you that are familiar with a volume profile, you'll be, or even the footprint of volumetric footprints, you'll be familiar with what we're looking at. Each individual level has a volume there, has a bar there. And that determines the longer the bar is, the more volume that's traded at that area at that particular level. You'll see that we have stack and balances. You'll see some red. Some of these bars are colored red. Some of them will be yellow. I'm just using red and yellow for my colors there. And then you'll see that each bar will have a large volume bar there. That's the point of control of each individual candle. You'll see a box outlining different areas along these candles. That's your value area. Those of you that know volume profile, you are familiar with that concept. That's where the most volume is traded in that candle. This is very relevant information. It helps you to understand the dynamics of order flow, to see it visually, to understand where you need to be guarding. For instance, I'll talk about this position entered here this morning. That was our below POC and our volumes sequencing right there, that fired right there. That would have entered us right at the close of that candle. That would have entered a position right here. And the typical way that we will trail that is depending on we look left, we find a stop loss, we look at that and make our adjustments. once we get about half of our stop loss in the profit, we'll start trailing, give the trade a chance to work out, and we'll start pulling down, guarding behind the value areas as we go. For instance, if we're right here in the trade, we'd be guarding back here. We get down to this part of the trade, we get to the next candle, we're guarding back here. We get to the next candle, we're guarding here, and so on and so forth as the trade works out. I was a little too aggressive this morning and I stopped myself out. I got a couple little trades in here, but this was a very nice sequence of trades right there. Of course, Tom, your settings that you were showing this morning would only have one or two. I have it in the background to where you can minimize same direction entries. Barb is like I said, he's an experienced trader. He's just looking for the high point and the low point. And so he doesn't necessarily need the opportunities to re-enter the trade like somebody like even myself would need. So for that reason, I don't have the minimize same direction entries checkbox checked in my strategy. I like having more opportunities to enter because I trail a little tighter sometimes. I have a smaller account than what Barb does, and I don't have the same risk appetite. So, it's going to vary trader to trader. We have a AMP education package that we include in our packages that teaches you, if you're newer to trading and you want to have a better understanding of how to do that and how to grow trader psychology and all that. We have that in our offering. In our monthly packages, we include the AMP education package. That's something that we just started doing here. We just started doing those. We changed up our offerings, our packages, and put all of our one-time. We have a lot of other indicators that we use. I'm very much into Ichimoku, very much into market strategy, looking for the larger participants. We have a strategy with our B4 algo that I use in my daily activity, my daily trading. But anyway, back to this program. It like you said, it's very versatile. You have right here, you can see that we have our B4 CoPilot Pro Trader interface right here. That's collapsible. We put some nice buttons in here so you can like buy when I'm balanced. Like I'm looking for a long. Let's say I'm looking for a long position. Maybe I missed this position right here. For some reason I got out of it, whatever, and I wanted to take another entry. I could select the buy and balance right there, and boom, when that imbalance hit me, that would enter me into a trade. That would put a market order and get me into a trade. You can do the same sell and balance. You can do buy green, sell red. So let's say that for some reason I took this trade and I got stopped out somewhere up in here. I mismanaged my trade and I'm looking for another opportunity. Man, it looks like we're breaking over our volatility bands here. It might go edge to edge on my volatility bands. I look left. I see, of course, I have an opportunity to come up to here. I might want to re-enter, so I can take that and turn that to buy green. And as soon as that candle closes, that will automatically enter me into a trade. You may have certain levels that you're interested. I want to buy over this level right here. Let's say that we're going this way. And again, same scenario. We either got stopped out or we missed the trade, whatever the situation. We're looking to enter the trade long if we get over here. And we have the volatility bands. Maybe we're interested for it to get above the volatility band and above this high point here on the left. Well, we can do buy chart, sell chart, instead of having to go through all the right click and not necessarily knowing what type of order to place or whatever. We make it very intuitive, very easy to just place an order. You click right there, it places a resting order. You boom, put it bearish below the candle. It will set a resting order for you. So we have that in the chart trader interface right there. Now we also have a break even button and a close position and a flatten all. So we have all of our risk management stuff right here on the chart trader interface. Now moving down to the strategy here. We have machine learning here. I haven't talked about that yet. We have different options here on the and just for sake of time and clarity, I'm not going to switch over to our interface unless you guys need me to. I'm probably just going to stay here for right now. But we could go in and we can scroll through this button right here. The strategy's paused right now. I finished trading right up in here this morning. I didn't take the long. I just took the shorts. I didn't take the long this morning. And so, but here we are. We got our strategy pause right there. But what you could do is basically you could set it for one time. You can set it for continuous. You can set it for once a day. You have all those options here. Then we have different combinations for your market trend. Right now, typically I leave mine in trending market. We have a machine learning mechanism here that will allow you to train your model, select any of the signals, any of the filters that you would like, and it will machine learn and find the best combination of these signals, best combination of these filters, and set it up for you that way if you like machine learning. If not, you could also just do manual like this, use the trading, the trending market. We have a signal strength that is depicted in each one of these signals, a confidence with our machine learning. And in the background, you could take and let's say that it was a choppy day. Let's say we were getting chopped around in here. You could set the actual chart trader interface there, set that button to put your machine learning and any signal that is like a regression style trade. You have thresholds in the background. You can set it like any regression signal, any signal that's below 30% confidence in your machine learning. I would like it to take the opposite signal because sometimes you'll get caught up in regression style trades. We have complete control of that in the back end settings. You can flip through any of your strategies, any of your settings here on the front of the interface, but the actual machine learning thresholds are in the chart in the back side, the back end there, the UI. So you'll have to set that up prior to executing your trades. What we've been showing here lately is I'm gonna go down to these filters that we have here. We've been using L1 and L2 filters in the presentations and what Tom's been showing. What that is, that's a L1, L2 data sync. We call that alpha sync. What we're looking for is to enter in when the market maker and the actual retailer are in agreement. And we know when the market maker is taking profits, he has to maintain a delta neutral position. So if you'll look at the footprint right here on the bottom, this is our part of our footprint indicator right here on this setup. And you'll see right there that bottom red row right there, not the very bottom, but the next to the bottom there. That is our level 2. This is the L2 sentiment right there. This is what the market maker is he's bearish right now. The retailer is bearish as well. That's the level 1. That's the actual orders hitting the tape right there. That's the L1. Of course, these are resting orders or whatever. So here we go. It's coming in. Whenever they sync and everybody's in sync, we got a signal. It approved because we have both of these filters on. It approved us to enter in this trade. Now, you'll say, well, wait a minute, this one right here doesn't have a red. At one point in time, we have logic internally there. At one point in time, this did sync up here. When it closed, it didn't. But at one point in time, these were in sync. This is the initial thrust by the market maker. He got in, he started taking profits. Then he got in again, he hit again, and he started pushing. He was pushing short. By the time we get here, the market maker let off. The retailer carried it down, and then the market maker pulled the rug. Boom. Our system got us in right whenever he pulled the rug and made the paradigm switch. Boom, there it is. So our system gets us back in. And of course, you could go through, like I said, the trailing strategy would be to trail these value areas as the move progresses. If you trailed this correctly, you would have took that whole trade and you would have got stopped out right here or right here, actually. This would have re-entered you here. You trail, you would have got stopped out right here. Boom. Then again, you get entered here as it trails. Um, as you trail this, you enter here. As you trail this, you trail here, 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 and you get stopped out here. Um, that would have entered you in here. Boom, you get stopped out here. You took a small loss. You probably wouldn't have re-entered this. You probably took a small loss. Like I said, Tom, I usually, whenever I get set up in the morning, I usually take a series of nice trades. If I notice I'm getting chopped up or whatever, I'll either stop or I'll adjust my settings. Um, but typically, I use this setup every morning. I've been doing that for about, I guess, over 2 months now with a lot of success. Um, We've been doing it live in our rooms. I've taken a little break here for Thanksgiving for the holidays or whatever. I'm going to continue our live room back after our Black Friday sale. After that's over and done with, I'll get back with our live room, and I'll be trading live in the room every morning with everyone. But this is our typical setup with our CoPilot Pro. And guys, if you have any questions, please just let me know.
Did you want to talk about any other things you've got going on, like the B4 bars or the footprint chart? I mean, there's a lot of things you could talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's some other things we could talk about. We can go into I didn't talk about the bars. The bars here on this particular setup are our Uniranko bars. That is our own interpretation. So those of you that are familiar with Ranko and Uniranko, this is our own interpretation of Uniranko. We have a chop filter that we've added here, so it's proprietary. Um, and it's a very nice little system here. You can use our system on any style candles, but we've been finding really nice results here with our B4 bars, and we kind of combine this as when you purchase the products, you get all of our add-on. Well, it used to be add-ons. We've combined them all into our offering now. But you get the B4 bars, you get the B4 Footprint Pro. The B4 Footprint Pro is what you're looking at here with these internal details of the volumetric footprint that you're seeing here. Another part of the B4 of that Footprint Pro is the actual uh, B4 order flow volatility bands that you see here. Um, Barb typically trades these. He'll because he's a larger trader than what I am. He guards behind these volatility bands when he starts taking. He uses that as a stop loss. You can't see from this picture, but that would have gave him. He would have entered a lot earlier than this, and it's been a nice move there. But these are B4 volatility bands. They are proprietary to B4. They use order flow volatility. Those of you familiar with Darvis boxes and so forth will be kind of familiar with them. What's really nice about that is you can see the internal of the candles with the order flow. You can see when those areas, when you get to the edge of those, like right here, you notice the most volume traded right there at the edge of that volatility band. So I'm looking for that as we're going through the positions. Those of you who know how to use these type candles, these type footprint charts, you know that whenever these value areas are at the bottom of your candle, it's a bullish candle. And whenever the value areas start accumulating at the top of your candle, it's more than likely a bearish candle. You also are familiar with the concept of when these value areas are overlapping one another, you're in consolidation. So we look at all that and we look at where the particular levels fire to help us navigate as we're approaching these different bands because they are important levels. Like here, you could see another thing that you can see on the chart is you have your lower level limit of the day right there. That little cyan colored right there. You can see that it starts getting right here. Of course, you get an order flow signal. You get an entry there. You know it. You're at the low of day, and you'll notice that the bottom, that right there, that value area is at the bottom of your candle. So yes, you can see the wick. You see that it pushes up. There's your order flow right there. Your triple stack and balance fired there. Boom, fired there, fired there. That was a heavy order right there where they come in. Bulls piled in right there. It started getting heavy right here. Some bears were coming in right here when it got to this level here, but then it decided, boom, as soon as it got over, boom, there's the orders hit the tape there, the orders hit the tape there, there. Push the trade up. Then we're coming up to the second band right there, and you'll notice that the bears start piling in. And then we get a signal. So the target, where's your target? Well, you can use these B4 Footprint Pro here. You can use that. Look left, find where you have a virgin point of control. Where's your virgin point of control? Right here. Boom. Where did the trade come down to and stop at? Right there. There's your target. So we use the B4 Footprint Pro for targeting. So that virgin point of control right there is your target. Then when it comes back up, you don't have a virgin point of control anymore, other than right here. And as we got to that level, of course, it surpassed it, worked its way up. But that's how we use our bars. We use our B4 Footprint Pro. We use our CoPilot Pro version 6 here.
And there were a couple of questions. Ali asked, is there a way you can backtest the strategy?
Yeah, so this is what we recommend. So the L2 data does not do historical here with the L2 filter, not so much. You can run it with the what is that? The strategy analyzer in NinjaTrader. You can run the strategy analyzer, but what we recommend is to do it in playback mode. Take and download a couple days worth of data, run it in playback and put it on like 5x speed or whatever and run it that way and vary your results. Another thing that is the most reliable way to run any testing. I see a lot of people post their success rate of their indicators with those with that NinjaTrader strategy analyzer. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. I know it's not accurate, so I'm not going to post it. It is what it is. Each to their own. It's not accurate. But anyway, and you'll see most people advertise with that. It's I don't say much about that, but it's not accurate. The best way to do it is with the playback mode. The other thing that you can do is we have it set up here where you can enable and unable a strategy. Let's say that I wanted to look at this and wanted to see what it would be and what I may want to choose what signals I like better than other signals. I may notice that I don't like the B4, that I don't like the delta surge, and maybe I don't like the value area gap. Okay, well, you uncheck those. You uncheck your strategy, reselect your strategy. It'll live update and show you on your chart what the settings are. Another thing is we have other filters here. We have volume filters, we have imbalance, we have momentum, we have pivots. That's one of my personal favorites. That catches typically the high and low of every swing. I just now changed. I used to have that set up every time. I don't have it set up as much now because I'm using the L1 and L2, and I've been doing a lot of testing with that. But previous to that, pivots was one of my most valued, and it still is, filters. We have indicators here. You can filter with indicators. Let's say that I like super trend, or I like a Keejensen or a Tinkinson, or I like a 10 and 20 8 and 20 moving average crossover, and I like that filter. Well, you could put those on your chart and select indicators right here, and it will filter your trades for you. Like right now, if I had indicators, see these volatility bands, it would filter. It wouldn't take a long until I got over these volatility bands. It wouldn't take a short until I was below those volatility bands. any indicator you put on there, let's say it has three moving averages. Well, I only want to use one of them. I don't know exactly what it is, but I like that one line. Well, you just take any moving average that is transparent, it will not detect it. But if you put color to it, it will detect it. So maybe I have an indicator that has three lines on it. I only want to use one of the moving averages. Well, I can make the other two transparent. We have some other filters. We have the wave filters, and these are our newest filters, the L1 and L2 delta. Of course, that's using the market makers. We're trying to get in sync with the market makers. When the market maker pulls the rug, I wanna be in that entry. Whenever um, he's taking profits, I don't want to be adding to my trade. I want to be trailing my trade. And I can tell that with this footer here at the bottom. Going back into that, you can see right here, market makers bearish, 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 bearish. I could be getting in this trade. I can be aggressive with this trade as he's bearish. But whenever he starts taking profits, I don't need to necessarily be adding to my trades. I need to be trailing it. So I can tell that with this footer here at the bottom. And then here the market maker's buying. He's buying, he's buying. Last push, he's able to overcome it. Boom, he pushes this thing up. Then he starts taking profits. Well, I don't want to add to the long position here. I want to be trailing because now he's taking profits. 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 Retailers still selling. Retailers getting tore up. And then the market maker pushes it again. Boom. He pushes it again. Then immediately he starts taking profits again. Yeah, you don't want to jump in unless you got in on the trade. Market makers taking profits, taking profits, taking profits. Now it's fighting here. You see the retailer and the market maker, the market's basically moving sideways right here. There's no decision right here, and he's still bearish. And it's just a ongoing thing, and it's very, very informative to be able to see that. I don't know how I traded without it this long, and especially with the footprint. The footprint has really increased my trading ability, being able to actually see the actual levels. But it is completely back to the back testing. It is completely. You can run it in the strategy analyzer. You're not going to get good results with the L2. It's not going to be dependable, but you can run the rest of it in the strategy analyzer. But we always recommend for the best results to do a playback. And set of course your ATM. Each one of these strategies and different setups are going to work differently depending on how you set up your ATM strategy. Um, no ATM strategy is going to be adaptable to all market environments. The way that I use my ATM strategy with our system is I have it as a basis to get me into the trade. I like the amount of risk that I take with the stop loss. And then as I start moving into profits, when I get into a trade and it's working out, well, whenever I get about half of my initial stop loss, I like to move into profit, pay for the trade. And then, of course, depending on what I'm looking at, be able to adjust. And you'll see that I was doing that live this morning, Tom, as I was talking with you as this was getting in the trade, telling you where I'm moving my stops. So I do that dynamically according to market conditions.
Hey Chuck, can you see the questions?
No,
Or
I can't. Let me if you could
there's
read
quite
the
a few.
yeah, why don't you could you let me see what I'm missing here. I'm not seeing that. Maybe could you read those all to me? I'll answer them.
Yeah, sure. Ali asks, how often do you need to modify the strategies?
Okay. Let me go back here. Here, let me get my
If you go to your Zoom
yeah,
control thing,
I'm
you should
losing.
be able to see the chat.
Okay, I'm not seeing the chats though. Let's see. Team chat, is that what it is?
No, it's just should say chat,
Okay, chats.
unless it's different on a Mac.
Yeah, it might be. I see the messages. It says chats, and then I see team chat. I try to do that, and then it's not really doing for me. I'm sorry.
Well,
So
I can just read them.
yeah,
So
what was the question, buddy?
yeah, so Ali said, how often do you need to modify the strategies?
Well, I would say, and this is with any system, the actual market is dynamic. It's always changing. Market structure is always changing. I like to, if I notice that I'm having some inconsistency, I like to do some back testing of the recent days and check on the check on the strategy. I re recommend doing that with any software. Um, you hear about so there's a common misconception. A lot of people think, okay, well, if you have this one strategy, it's always going to work, and um, you know, market environments change. You'll notice like hedge funds, they'll take and they'll have even those that are just quants, completely quants. There is always discretion. They will have certain strategies that are always loading in the background that are running. These are more profitable. These are less profitable for this environment. They'll switch them out. They'll rotate those strategies. I recommend if you can use the machine learning, if that's if you're very concerned about that, you can just use the stream machine learning session in here and load 3 to 5 days of data and run it with the machine learning and trade that way if you feel more comfortable that way. We have a very high success rate with a system like that. But with the L2 data, what I would recommend is going the L1 and L2 alpha sync, the way it's set up like this. What I would recommend doing is going through and selecting these signals, select it and unenable and enable a strategy, do a visual back test on it and see what would have been more profitable for your discretionary style. Each person is going to have a different risk appetite. For instance, I can't trade near as long as what Barb is. I will be in and out 5 times where he's only in that thing 1 time. And he's multiple contracts, taking profits, moving his stop, adding back to the position. I'm not that advanced. I'm more in and out, in, out, in, out with a smaller account size. And so each person, no matter what strategy is always going to have a different risk appetite, and they're going to, different size accounts as well. So it's going to vary user to user. But what I would recommend doing is taking each day and checking your different signals, uncheck them, and find out what really looks visually appealing to you. Go through and look at 5 or 6 days with it, and then maybe want to run a day or two forward testing to see if that's going to fit your style and go from there. That would be the best approach, and I would recommend doing that with any system.
Okay, Brad asked, can you turn it on live and we see it run, explain what it's doing as it takes live trades? I guess you do that in the mornings, right, with the
I do, I,
subscribers.
I do that every morning with the subscribers. Um, let's see where we are here. Hold on a minute. Am I showing my
Yeah, we see your Ninja Trader.
okay, Ninja Trader? Okay, let's see where we are. So it's choppy right now. Here's the thing. Remember I told you the other day I usually don't trade this time of the market. I told you around lunchtime, around 10 o'clock or so, I'll usually get out of the market.
Right.
And especially at this time of day, it's 12:34 my time. This is an ideal trading uh, environment right here. So what I would do here, I would take that and put that on either auto market or do machine learning. We could put that on ranging market. What ranging market would do would take the opposite trades. Not necessarily the best time to do that. I'd probably put it on auto market right now. If I traded the lunch, one of the worst things that most people do is they don't realize the time of day and how that affects you. They'll do good in the morning. They'll give it all back at lunch. It's just like running a business. I used to run a restaurant. We did a lot of business on the weekends. Even Sundays were very busy for us, but we had to close down on Mondays. We closed the doors on Mondays because nobody came in, and we had to have time to do maintenance and do everything else that we had to do. It's just like that with here. If you find that you have a better success in the morning, it's better to go ahead and trade the volatility at the morning and then sit back at the lunch if you notice that you're losing more at lunch with your particular strategy. And then, if you're doing better with power hour, or if you didn't make it with power hour and you're looking for a breakout, uh, go ahead and catch that last part of the day. But I would, right now, just looking at this, you could see what the trades would have been here. You could see that right there. So I refreshed my data right before the meeting time. I had an issue with NinjaTrader, and so I refreshed the data. And that's what I was saying earlier. You'll notice that right here, all of those bars are not not showing with the L2. That's because that's no historical data right there. It didn't start printing history to right here when I refreshed it right before the meeting. So you could see what trades it would have taken here. It would have entered here. Let's just kind of walk through it and do a visual of what it would have done. And maybe that'll give you an idea. There we are there. That would have entered us here. We'd have been guarding here. As we move down, we would have been guarding here. As we continue to move down, we'd have been guarding here. We would have guarded here and would have been taken out right there. So what is that? 5906.50, 10, let's say 1056.56. 4 points. Okay, there you are right there. This would have got you in. Minimum, your stop should have been here. This would have got you in. That would have taken you out. I would call that a scratch right there. You'd probably got out. So you're basically about even right here. Now, the system didn't get you back in, but it got you in here. So let's just call this a scratch. We enter here. Stop here. We're guarding. Okay, it moves up. Boom. We can guard here. It moves up from here. We guard there. So we got a little bit. We got a little here.
Hey Chuck, there's a lot of questions. We should probably
Yeah, I'll tell you
like
what I'm going to do. Let me see if I can walk through this, Tom. I'm really not. Let me go to my Zoom again.
should be a chat.
Do you see my screen,
I
Tom?
do see your screen.
You
Yep.
see the chats right there? Okay, so this
Um,
doesn't do
it
it.
should be uh I know on Windows it's up near the top when you're sharing your screen. Is there like a zoom control?
Okay, there's a Zoom. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 28 chats. Okay. How do I do that? Oh, here we go. I got it now. Thank you, Tom.
Okay, so we're the next question was, I assume this works on any instrument or does it do better with NQ versus ES, etc.
Okay, yes. So it's gonna work. So it works off of order flow. And so it's gonna work just about on any instrument. Especially any instrument that you're gonna find from NinjaTrader. Um, we haven't tested it on FX or anything like that, but any of your futures contracts, it's going to be fine with. Let's see. Let me look at here and see what we have here.
Now, does it work on NQ as the order book is very
Oh,
lean?
yeah, absolutely. It works great on NQ. Um, it's I trade ES exclusively day in and day out, and that's what I usually trade in the live room. Uh, so let me just go through. Is there a way you can back test the strategy? I address that. Can you turn it live? Yeah, I'm not going to turn it on live right now. It's of course the hour and everything, and I don't want to have to go through and change it to send. I'll have to reset all the data and everything else. It'll reset the data because of the L2. So I can't really do that. I assume it works on any instrument. We talked about that in Q.
Yeah, the next one's from Ollie. What are the filter signals that you typically run in the morning?
Okay, yeah. So let me show my screen. So this is my typical setup right here. I'm typically going to be at a trending market. We have different opposite signal execution. You can do different things. You can reverse when an opposite signal happens. You can Do nothing when opposite signals happen and manage that yourself. Exit, I typically use it on exit, mark opposite signals. Barb uses this more than I do. You could turn it on just to take long trades or short trades. I usually leave that new with both. And this is my basic setup. I'm looking for every opportunity, every signal.
Do you have all of them checked?
Yeah, I have all of them selected. Now you can go in here and you can say, well, I only want if I get 4 signals. So if you have all of them selected and you want to filter it that way, I only want to take 4 signals. Well, let's say we're going to take 3. Let's do it this way. Let's say we're going to take 3. If that was the case, only this, and I unchecked it and rechecked it, only this one would have fired. This one would have fired. This one would have fired. This one wouldn't have fired. This one would have fired. This one would have fired. This one would have fired. So you can go through and filter it by the number of signals, or you can uncheck the signals itself. And of course, you just uncheck the strategy, recheck the strategy, and it will actually go ahead and update the visual so you can get a good visual of that. Let me go to my Zoom meeting again here, see if there's any other questions.
There's quite a few. Do you have the entry criteria for each of those 20 check marks, strategy check marks?
Well, what I typically do is I know what I'm looking at. I've got enough experience to know what I'm looking at with, especially with my Ichimoku. So I've always got a bias of what the trade should be. I'm always looking at that whenever. So what I typically do is I let the strategy enter me. No criteria, I let it enter me, and then I'll look at my my Ichimoku, and I've been doing it for years. I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know where the pullbacks are going to happen. I know what the overall trend should be, and I know when the pullbacks are going to happen because of Ichimoku analysis. So if it takes something that I don't like, I'll typically snuff it out. I'll move my risk down and use discretion. Instead of leaving a larger stop, I'll usually tighten up the stop on it. And if it's going to take me for a small trade. But that's how I typically do it because I have big enough runners that whenever it's hitting with my particular setup right now and the current market conditions, when it runs. And I'm more than overcoming my scratches. So
And then Kieran asks, what's the time duration of each candle? Is it fixed?
okay, so this doesn't operate on time. These are Renko style trades. So it's looking for 10 bricks. It measures bricks, and each brick is a different tick. And so a 10, it has like a 10, it has like so basically it'll measure 10 ticks back, 10 ticks forward. Whenever it moves 10 ticks forward, it prints another bullish bar.
Let's see. Alvaro asks, the opposite signal exit button exits the trade when opposite number of signals occur, question mark, or just one opposite signal?
It depends. Okay, good question. Stop that. Okay, good question. That will if you have it set for 4, it's going to filter and only show 4 signals. If you got it set for 3 signals, it's only going to show where you have 3 signals. So that's going to it's going to be indicative to how you have it set.
I think he's talking about the opposite signal exit button.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yes. So let's say let's say right here. Let's say we're in a bullish trade right here. And I had this set to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This signal wouldn't have fired, so I'd still be in the trade. If I had it set to 4 and I had opposite signal reverse, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, that would have fired, that would have reversed me.
Okay.
I hope I answered that correctly. I hope that made sense. Yes,
And
go ahead.
Brad asked where he can get more information about the check marks, what the strategies are. Because
Okay,
maybe people
yeah.
aren't
So
sure what like a delta flip is or delta divergence.
yeah, we go over all that in our documentation. We don't put it out on the general channels are in the as general information. Some of these are proprietary. We don't go into all of the ways and means of how they do, but we give a very good description of what each one of those are in our documentation.
And then Kieran asked, can you explain your offerings for with AMP and without AMP?
Okay, so AMP is a 36-week uh, educational package. And let me go open up my website right here so I don't mistake my information here so I can go into it. So yeah, so AMP is a 36-week education package. It goes through all your trader psychology. It goes, and that's what it starts with. We start you out with a simple strategy using the free B4 indicator. People don't even realize the power of that one little indicator and how to use it correctly. They think just because it says buy and sell, that's what you're supposed to do. We have a whole set of rules and methodology of how to trail your trades, how to take just one rule that will increase your win rate by 10%. But the AMP pack, so some of the packages have the AMP in it. Our monthly packages all have the AMP in it to where you'll be educated. You'll learn most of the major market theories. You'll learn a bunch of Gann, Ichimoku, volume profile. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn how to do the smart money trading strategies to know what the smart money is doing each day, to have targets using the B4. We go into all of that. But the packages that we have now, and we're doing a half off of right now, each, like we had the monthly, it's 174.50 for the first month. The B4 quarterly, 475 for the first quarter. The annually, 1680 for the first year. So we're running that sale right now, and those packages are our more flexible packages, and they offer our B4 AMP with it. The AMP is a very valuable program. Like I said, it's 36 weeks. It goes through step by step of how to do this. We have daily exercises. We meet once a week to talk about the trades, to go over the trades that you took, that you marked out. We have a way, if you want to use NinjaTrader for us to track your trades, you can do that as well, and we'll automatically have that information to review with you. But we go over. In fact, I got a meeting here in a little bit, Tom. I'm going to have to go at about well, it's 2:30. I got a little bit of time.
Yeah, I got another meeting in about 11 minutes, so I can't stay too long.
Okay, so we'll stop here in about 5 minutes or so. Yeah, I got an AMP meeting. I got to meet with them here in a little bit, that we're going to go over their trades. They document each trade. We go over how to do that. We work with them hand in hand to make sure that they're improved. I have a system that I use with the free B4 indicator. Every time a squeeze happens, that we draw and mark out where the next squeeze is going to happen, and the traders are able to trade those points in between those points, mapping out the market each day. It's a very valuable lesson, series of lessons, and it's very hands-on, and we take a lot of time with you to work with you. We're adding recordings to it day by day. I spent 9 months putting it together, 8 or 9 months. I'm adding videos to it daily, so each session, as they're dripped out, will have additional content as we go. But it's a very nice system. But that's the difference. So then we have the one-time offerings. The one-time offerings are if you just want the big package and you want to make some savings and you want to get in for everything that we have to offer right now. For basically one time. We can't say lifetime because different things don't allow us to do that. In fact, our PayPal won't allow us to do that. So, but it's basically it's a one-time offering for you if you want to get locked in and grandfathered in with the system. But we only open those up on special occasions, and we're going to go ahead and do that for our Black Friday deal, which is our biggest sale of the year, and we do that for 50% off. And Tom, everyone can use your link, the link that I sent you. If they send your link, you'll get accredited for the sale. If anybody's interested in it, take the link that Tom posts for you, and just navigate to our site. You'll see the offerings there. You'll see all the listings there. You can go to the store or the homepage. They're both there. But yeah, we are offering 50% off until Black Friday.
And see, there's a couple more questions that we're kind of getting short on time, but are these signals intra-bar or after the bar closes?
All these entries are after bar close, at bar close. So it's going to vary how you have your settings. It may be it'll vary from user to user experience. Barb uses bigger bars. Um, in the current market environment, that works great for him. I'm not that as experienced as him, so I got smaller bars, more of like a hyper scalping kind of setup. I'm in and out a lot faster than what Barb is. I'm catching more turns. So it's going to vary depending on your particular time settings or candle style, but it's at bar close.
And then Robert asked, says you trade every day with your users. Do you have an equity curve for those days?
Um, I don't have, I could definitely go back and pull it up. Never really had anybody to ask that, but I can definitely provide that if later on in this chat if you'd like to.
Yeah, sure. Or maybe if you send it to me, like on
Yeah,
Discord, I can post it with the
we'll do
recording.
that. We could show Barb's as well. Um, that's not very fair though, because Barb only loses 1 to 3 trades a month. Uh, but uh, but mine will be a little bit different from that. But I can do that. I can provide that if you'd like.
All right. Well, I guess yeah, we're kind of running out of time. So why don't
Yeah.
I post that equity chart once I get the recording up on YouTube.
Okay.
But I know we both got to run, so
Yeah.
maybe we can have you back maybe with Barb another time, and then get some more
Yeah, I'd like to
questions
definitely do this
answered.
with Barb one time when he's available. Let's get together and see if we can schedule that.
Okay, sounds great. All right, well, thanks everyone. We'll have a follow-up webinar once we can coordinate with Barb and Chuck and myself, and we'll get everybody together in the same place and answer more questions. So. Thanks so much, Chuck, for showing us around, and maybe we can work together to get your settings set up on the live stream I'm doing so it's more representative of what you actually trade.
Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine, buddy.
All right.
All right.
Well, thanks again. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye now.